Hi, I'm Abhaya Krishnan-Jha, and I'm a junior at San Mateo. So my mom is from South India, and my dad's from North India in a place called Bihar, and my mom's actually from a place called Chennai. Growing up, my mother always tried to make sure, and my father as well, that we had an equal balance of kind of the Indian culture and roots, as well as the American customs and keeping intact with the American customs. It's kind of a feeling of duality or a hyphenated identity. But I think I've always wanted to be accepting of both values and both cultures. There's always a bit of a language barrier when talking to relatives and always a bit of connection barrier. The importance of family, I think family has different roles in both cultures. Indian relatives who always want to come to every event, whether it be a small original musical or the biggest dance performance of my life. And my American friends who don't always understand, the Indian culture, but are still always very supportive of it. For a long time, I always felt like I had to conform and be someone I wasn't in order to, appease my Indian relatives or my American friends, that they would view me as different. At the same time, I always felt like when I went to Indian events, I had to speak in the Indian language. I couldn't really bring both sides of myself to a consensus. I started doing musical theater, and I think that was something that really made me feel like I was a part of something more than my culture. It ended up becoming one of my biggest passions right now. This summer, I had my 3-hour Indian classical dance solo debut, which I invited a lot of people to. A lot of them were not Indian, but they were all so accepting of the culture, and I think that's something that made me feel so happy. After a while, I began to notice that my relatives and my family would accept me no matter what. I just had to be Abhaya, not an Indian American, not an Indian, not an American, but just Abhaya.